Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for popping by here. And yeah, today we are going to complete the fundamental series with the topic of it is time to remember. Time to remember what, you may ask. And this is, who am I? Who are you? What's really going on here? So the easiest way to think of it as we are all fractals of source. So we are, every single human on this planet is source itself that has split into many, and we will return to source. And so you may think of source as God, you may think of source as the universe, however you want to, it's all good, perfectly fine. But you are a holographic fractal of source. You are a source energy being. You are pure positive energy, and you are pure unconditional love. All those four things are the same thing, but I just want to throw them out there because once you realize who you are, life becomes much easier. Of course, it takes time, but and if you're not ready to remember, maybe you stumbled across this video to plant a seed for later in this life or even in your next life. It's all good, but I feel that majority of you who will stumble across this are just gonna get from it a validation of what you already know and what you already feel inside to be true. And so I'm going to take it back to our fun little balloon analogy that we have been working with on the past couple videos. And so every balloon is filled with air. And the analogy is the air is energy. It's all filled with the same air. We can think of that as source energy. We all have source energy inside. And even the outer side of the balloon, it's all made from the exact same material. All the balloons, they may be different colors, may have different beautiful uniquenesses, every single one, but they're all cut from the same cloth, so to speak. So each being, of course, has varying levels of energy. And this is dependent on the vibration. And how I see it too is that inside our essence is like a light, is like a shining light, shining out. And so our essence, you can say the spirit, the vibration, is this beautiful light. And then the soul is like this blueprint for our life. And who we are naturally abundant. So that means every single person is naturally has everything they need, want, and more. And we're naturally connected to source and infinite love, naturally connected to infinite intelligence, naturally connected to infinite well-being. So what happened? Well, we put on all these layers, all these distorted filters over the light. And so we're shining through our blueprint, but then we're shining through all these, what we'll call these fears, because the original blueprint is love. And last time I talked about, mentioned different fear emotions and thoughts and loved ones, and every thought produces a corresponding emotion. And so what I did is I produced a little graphic, and I'll put it on my Instagram today, and it's Chelsea Sawa, but I'll leave a little link in the description if you're interested in checking it out. And what it is it just shows the fearful thoughts and emotions and then the corresponding one in love, because it's polarity. So for example, judgment is very fearful, and if we look at the opposite, would be acceptance. And then if we think of worry, which is also fearful, the opposite would be trust or peace. And with these emotions, in any moment when we choose one, you can't choose both. You either choose fear or you choose love. It's that simple. You can't have one thought that is half fear and half love. It's either fear or it's love. And so you can think of when you're having a thought, and this really helped me out, is this thought influenced by fear, or is this thought influenced by source? Because it's going to, depending on who you are, of course. Like I say, I don't judge anyone, and everyone is at the exact perfect part in their journey, and they're learning what they need to know. And as far as I see it, nothing needs to change. Everything is fine the way it is. We have contrast, and once you start to change your inner world, your outer world will change so much that you'll realize that yeah, all you needed to change was inside. And I can vouch for this. This really changes your entire reality by changing your perspective. But going back to the fear and the love thing, it's like we come from love, we experience fear on earth, and then we go back to love. And you could say, oh, what a horrible thing to come to this planet and be in this fear-based society and all this. But we created it. You have to remember that you created Earth. You created this game so that you would learn many things, and so that it would be a great challenge for you to start to remember who you are. And as you did, life would get easier and better and funner and more joyful and all these things. And so it's a very, very exciting and fun path. But you know, I of course honor all the people who are in the fear state, and that is horrible. It really is. Like, as I lived the majority of my life in fear, and it was just an absolute nightmare. Like, I can laugh about it now, but in it was not fun at all. And so it is brutal. But once you start to realize these things, you completely change how you look at it, and you realize it's all a learning experience, and then you can, like I said, it's just life becomes so much easier, so much more enjoyable, and that's so yeah. I guess the last thing I'll mention is that the reason why we lose energy and it feels so bad when we're in that fear state, and it's because we are pure love, pure unconditional love. So it's really going against our entire like essence. It's going against our internal program, which is a great program. But all these fearful programs get inserted, and this becomes the reality. So what can we do? So when we choose love, it feels good and we're gaining energy. And you may say, well, how can you tell? And I briefly touched on this in the last video, is that you feel You have to go into your heart, because the mind, it'll go looping around and all over the place. At least mine does. And it's getting better, but your heart will never lead you astray. Your heart will never send you down the wrong path. And it's so simple. Does this feel bad? Then don't do it. Unless you want to feel bad, that's fine too. If you feel good, do that, is what I would suggest. Because I'm just gonna grab some water here. Because if it feels good, it's gonna be a much, I guess we can say, positive outcome. But I'm at the point where I don't even like thinking of things as positive or negative anymore, because everything is perfect. Everything is absolutely perfect, and that it may be hard to see. Again, if you're in a fearful reality, or if you're coming out of that. But what you'll start to realize is that as you come into love, of course, you're feeling better, you have more energy, you're healthier, you'll notice this abundance coming in your life, and it just gets to a point where you don't even want to think a fearful thought, because it just feels so bad, and it's just awful. And you'll get to a point where you're completely change your perspective. And the beautiful thing about that is that once you change your perspective, nothing in the outside world will bother you, number one. But number two, you're going to be actually living in a different reality. You're going to be, for example, if you are living in fear and you think, oh, if I go to this certain place, I'm going to have this fearful experience, chances are that'll happen. But if you're thinking in love, and you're saying, oh, I'm going to go to this place and everyone's going to be loving and kind and respectful to me, I assure you, you go, same place, same time, different mindset, whole different outcome will happen. And so that is powerful. Love is power. Love is the true power. And this word power, it's got a bad rap. It's kind of been used in many different ways, but I think of power as that energy, that source energy within you. And that is why fear is so powerless, because you're constantly losing energy. And you'll notice the fearful ones, they're always trying to do something fearful for power, but it's all just illusions, and it's all, they wouldn't do that if they actually had power. If you get my drift, only a powerless person would try to do that. So fear feels bad, you lose energy, you feel powerless. Great lesson. In the loving side, you feel good, you are gaining energy, and you are in your power, in that love, and you are free. You are free, because love is the truth. Love is the truth about the reality. Everything is source. Everything is God. Everything is love. Everything is source. Everything is love. Fear doesn't even really exist. It's made up in the mind, and for various reasons, but I'd like you to think of this as a challenge that you created to have a very to have revelations so you can really enjoy this life. And because we did create it, and so there's no one to blame. There's nothing to judge or anything like that. And yeah, so because when you're living in fear, you're really not living. You're living in this false reality. Fear is not real. And so to give up fear, you give up nothing in reality. And when you come to the truth that is love, you just feel so fulfilled, so content, so good. And that's how you know you're on the right track. So pay attention to your feelings. Again, follow what feels good, and things will get better and better, and this I can assure you from my personal experience. So yeah, I feel like now is a good time to wrap this up. But yeah, you and every other human are so much more powerful than you maybe realize. And so that's a real message I want to get across. And because yeah, you can and you do create your reality with your thoughts, your vibration, your emotions, which is your energy, and then the last one, it becomes the physical. It comes into form. So yeah, that will be it for today, and we'll see what happens next time. If you're wondering how I make these videos, I'm very connected to my spirit guides, and they let me know when to make one and the subject matter. So that's what I've been doing. I just go with the flow. I just follow what feels good. So yes, I will leave you with that. And I thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. If you like and subscribe, I do really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope this information was benefited you today. Well, sending lots of love, joy, and harmony your way, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.